episode of Two Strike Noise. I am one of your co-hosts, as always. My name is Jeff. Joining me, as he always does, from the Pacific Northwest, this week from the John Marzano studio, it is Mark A. Johnston. Mark, how are you doing?
You know, I almost forgot that Marzano was a Mariner.
I think I know him from the Red Sox, which is where I came up with that because I was watching an old Yankees Red Sox game this last week.
Oh, okay. Wow. You know, that's just going to make us more of a Red Sox podcast.
Oh, shoot. That's right. I forgot. Anytime we mention that team from Boston, our standing goes up in the Boston Red Sox podcast list. And
yes.
Geez, that's my bad.
Steadily climbing.
Yeah, that one's on me. Well, I'm going to tell you, Red Sox fans will probably be a little disappointed in this episode. There's just not a whole lot of Red Sox talk going on this week. But, Mark, let's go ahead and get into our BP segment because we do have things that we need to discuss. So we're going to let the grounds crew get the cage out there because we need to take some cuts this week. I talked a couple of weeks ago about a new baseball movie being made about Chris Pine and Emma Stone, where essentially the elevator pitch is that Emma Stone is somebody that is a fan that accidentally alters the trajectory of a game-winning catch. We're going to assume that that's Chris Pine trying to make the catch. So this is more of a Jeffrey Mayer story than a Steve Bartman story. But that was kind of all of the information we had. Well, thanks to me actually being a Mets fan and watching the games continually for some reason. Last Friday, there was a Mets game. It was at home. Mets at home on Fridays wear their black uniforms, their throwback black uniforms, which everybody but me apparently likes. I'm not a huge fan of them, but whatever. But they were wearing home whites. And so I was excited. I was like, oh, what did I do to win this prize? Well, apparently, Emma Stone was at Citi Field that day. And they were filming scenes during the game with her in the stands. So maybe I was going to say maybe they had them wear the home white so they could get some B-roll from old games and it'd be easier. Or just thinking of it now, they probably had no idea that the Mets had black uniforms and wore them on Fridays. And they had not purchased black uniforms for everybody in the cast. Is probably that I'm honestly thinking that is probably what the answer really is.
That makes total sense, actually. Yeah, it and it shows that the Mets have truly given up because now Hollywood has more influence.
That's right.
Than anyone else.
That's right. So the Mets wore their whites. They showed pictures of Emma Stone during the game. She had on I call it a casual Mets hat. You know, not the kind that the players wear on the field, but it's like, it was khaki and that looser fabric. It's not a new era on the field type of hat. It was casual is what I say. But they showed her throughout the game and she's basically just making different expressions, like she's watching the game and reacting to it and getting all the shots that they need. But I'm excited for this now because I hear that Juan Soto made some cameo or is supposed to make a cameo. He does filmed some scenes during batting practice that day. We'll see if they make the final cut or not.
Oh, that's cool. Maybe he'll score some points if we do pop culture.
Oh, yeah.
We need some newer cards.
Yeah, that's right. He will get on the spreadsheet for that pop culture.
Yes.
I'm just wondering, does he have anywhere else? I don't know. He's a huge star, but yeah, I don't know. All right, Mark, I talked a couple of weeks ago, another thing that's coming back up where Elmo was at the Philadelphia Phillies game. He and John Kruk together, a match made in heaven. Well, the Sesame Street crew is making the rounds, apparently only the National League Central rounds. Cookie Monster showed up at Wrigley Field this week, which is not
nice.
A sentence you say every day.
No.
And it was good. Boog Powell was in the booth. I don't mind Marquee Network. I don't mind their broadcast. I like Boog Powell. And Cookie Monster was there chopping it up with those guys. Also, something that we've covered in the Harry Carey episode, how the whole singing of Take Me Out to the Ballpark in the seventh inning stretch up in the booth came to be. Well, this week it was Cookie Monster's time.
Come fans! Tonight, C is for Cubbies.
So that, not bad. Better than Steve McMichael.
Well, yeah.
Remember, Steve McMichael got kicked out because afterwards he yelled at the umpire and the umpire threw him out.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
Don't mess with Mongo. Cookie Monster stuck around in the booth, which was entertaining because here they asked Cookie Monster who his favorite Cub is.
Do you have the favorite Cubby?
Show me love, show them. Me no can pick a favorite cup PCA. Me no can pick a favorite PCA. What? Did you hear something?
No.
Me never pick favorites PCA. No, not me. Me want to be fair to everyone PCA.
So Mark, I market my podcasting 101 class to,
right.
Anybody
I've taken
that
it
wants
6 times.
Yeah, I know. I still haven't gotten paid for any of them.
Oh, it's coming.
This is what is called a segue because Cookie Monster there, while claiming he doesn't have a favorite Cub, obviously is a big PCA fan. Pete Crow Armstrong was recently on a podcast called Let's Be Honest with Kristen Cavallari, who I believe she might have been like a reality show person, but I think she also married somebody on the Bears quarterback, and then they got divorced. Jay Cutler, I think. But
okay.
she's doing her own thing now. She's got this podcast, which I think is pretty popular. And PCA is on this podcast. And a question was asked of him about an unpopular opinion he had. Let's just listen to this genius.
Okay, what's an unpopular opinion that you have? Like any conspiracy theory stuff or like what's an unpopular opinion?
This is going to be crazy. Babe Ruth never existed is one that I like.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Really? He never existed.
I heard some pitcher with the Mariners, what's his name? Salcedo? You remember him?
Salcedo, yeah, lefty.
I think he did some podcast on Zoom when he was like going down the rabbit hole with somebody about how Babe Ruth never existed. And I was like, dude, that's awesome. Like,
wow. So you're going to double down right now?
Well, it's like we always talk about how like the game's evolving and people might as well have been like underhanding the ball to that guy. And he's regarded still as one of the best players ever. And you might as well dive further into it and be like, well, maybe he just never existed.
I love it.
I heard something about this. Yes.
All right. So, Mark, what say you about the the opinion that Babe Ruth never existed?
Well, I'm sure it had nothing to do with the lack of everyone having a camera on them, their person 24/7. But maybe it was just something like that. However, I am of the belief that Babe Ruth never landed on the moon. I'm denying that ever happened. Okay.
Well, I am of the opinion that Babe Ruth never called a shot, but we've gone over that as many times as we've gone over why I can't stand Tinkers to Evers to Chance.
Right. Agreed.
So we won't go into that. Now, there are some great comments on this video listening to PCA tell us why Babe Ruth never existed. Some of them are, it must be a strange feeling for Kristen Cavallari being the smart one in a room. Someone said, it sounds like PCA has been hitting the PCP.
Nice.
This is a good one. This is actually a great point. It says there are people who will think that Wilt Chamberlain didn't score 100 points because there was no footage of that game.
Well, true.
It makes sense. Yeah. Well, if you didn't see it, blah, blah, blah. I just can't believe this. I like PCA, but now I kind of don't like PCA.
Well, it's pretty silly to have that belief.
Oh, it's not silly. It's stupid. We're calling this. If you want to call us boomers, fine. But this is stupid.
Babe Ruth, I'm thinking, did exist. Now, I was born a little bit after Babe Ruth passed away.
Yeah, the day after.
But yes, the next day. And I did not attend his funeral, but there were a lot of people there. So if he was fake, they paid a lot of people off. I'm
literally flabbergasted. This is stupid. PCA is stupid. Someone needs to. This is like, remember Mookie Wilson? That was fake about the dinosaurs. But there are plenty of people that think dinosaurs never existed. PCA might be one of those people as well if he doesn't think Babe Ruth existed.
Babe Ruth is kind of a dinosaur himself.
Well, yeah. Are we going to have to? Well, true. You could exhume him, and what's it? It's just going to be bones. It doesn't mean anything.
Bones and half digested hot dogs, I think. Because I think that was his meal of choice.
I wonder if he ever
mummification.
I wonder if he ever accidentally ate a cigar or lit up a hot dog, because they look very similar, and he liked both.
The reason I eat so much junk food is because of all the preservatives. Because I want it to be preserved. I want to be preserved.
Yeah, you want to be mummified.
Okay. Have a great looking corpse.
All right, enough PCA.
Yes.
I really hope to find out that this was all just a work.
Yeah, let's hope so.
I mean, that's just too stupid for me. Which takes trust me, that takes a lot. We talk about Seinfeld quite a bit here. We talk about bobbleheads. There is another one coming out. This one is an actual Yankees one at Yankee Stadium. It is the George Costanza calzone bobblehead on August 27th.
Oh, that's awesome.
I wonder if they could add a scent to it. Coat it with what kind of calzone did George have that Steinbrenner could smell it?
What was it? I'm not prepared for this.
We're gonna lose our Seinfeld cards here on this one, but that was the whole gist, is that George was hiding, but George Steinbrenner could smell the calzone. I'm coming for you, George. Yeah. All right, let's go ahead. Let the grounds crew come out and do their thing, and we were going to get into the main segment of our show. All right, we're going to head back to 1935, September 19th, 1935. We're at Penmar Park in Philadelphia. It's Game 6 of the Negro National League Championship Series. The Pittsburgh Crawfords and the New York Cubans. And the Crawfords are all out of outs. It's bottom of the ninth inning. They're down 6-3. On the mound for the Cubans, their player manager, the guy who Bob Hendricks called right here on this very podcast. He said perhaps the best Negro League player of all time, Martin Dihigo, is on the mound. He's their best hitter. He's their manager. And he also started Game 4 in the series. This is now Game 6. And today he has inserted himself as their closer. He's looking to end this best of 7 series. He does it all. I mean, he's the maestro after all. So first up, he's got to face Cool Papa Bell. Maybe you've heard of him.
Yeah, he was a tough out, so I hear.
Yeah, no problem for the maestro. 1 out. Don't know how it happened. There is absolutely no game log of this game.
I'd like to think it was a great play by the shortstop, firing over there to get him by half a step.
Yeah, just half a step. Like, they probably would have challenged if there would have been replay.
Right, yes.
All right, so there's 1 out. Next up, Chester Williams. Chester reaches. Again, don't know how. We're going to assume he beat it out. He's faster than Cool Papa Bell.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good old Chester. That brings the tying run to the on-deck circle. Again, the score 6-3. Bill Perkins, now he is up there at bat for the Crawfords. He goes down swinging or grounds out or flies out. Maybe he's out on batter interference, a pitch clock violation. I don't know. Again, couldn't find any sort of game log for this game. So use your imagination. There's 2 outs, 1 runner on. Josh Gibson, now the batter. How exciting is this? How much would you want to watch this game? This is got to be considered a victory, honestly, for Dihigo, because Gibson is held to a single.
Wow, good for him.
that literally is a win.
He didn't hit it 6 miles this time.
That's right. So now we've got runners on first and second. The tying run is now coming to the plate in the form of a 38-year-old player manager for the Crawfords, Oscar Charleston. So we've got player manager versus player manager. And this is not the in his prime Oscar Charleston. This is a 38-year-old Oscar Charleston.
Sure.
But he's still dangerous. And Dihigo knows that. But Hall of Famers are going to Hall of Fame in big moments. So Dihigo challenges him. Bam. 3-run bomb. Game is tied.
Wow.
Somewhere in the Cubans clubhouse, according to one account, the owner of the Cubans, Alex Pompez, and his business manager are literally in the middle of counting the winner's share in cash on a table. And then Charleston hits that homer, and as the story goes, somebody threw a stack of bills across the room out of pure disgust. The Crawfords, though, they're not done yet. Dihigo gives up a double to Pat Patterson. Now, that is not WWE Hall of Famer Pat Patterson.
Oh, I was going to say, man, that guy's been around a while.
Yeah, he's been around a long time. It is switch-hitting infielder Pat Patterson. So 2 outs, Patterson's on second, game's tied. The wheels are turning in the Crawfords dugout. So Charleston's back in the dugout because he's hit that home run. So now he's managing, not from the base paths. That's good. And he looks down his bench and he sees another future Hall of Famer. No shortage of future Hall of Famers in this series.
Apparently.
Maybe why we're talking about it. But he looks down and he sees future Hall of Famer Judy Johnson sitting on the bench. And he says, Jude, let's go. Now, Judy Johnson is 0 for 10 in the series. Not looking good at the plate. But he picks up a bat, heads to the plate. Now, I'm not going to tell you what he did yet. I'm going to instead answer the question, how did we get here? How did we get to a game between the 2 Negro League dynasties? How did we get to a game between the Negro Leagues dynasty team of the 30s and a team in its first year of existence? Well, let us find out. How do you get 2 teams on the field with multiple Hall of Famers in the middle of the Depression on a Negro League budget? Well, you have to get creative. Gus Greenlee was the owner of the Crawfords, and he's the one, obviously, as the owner, bankrolling the Crawfords. He made his money by running a numbers game in Pittsburgh's Hill District. Now, I don't know what a numbers game is. Well, I do now. I didn't before.
Right. Gotcha.
So my wife explained it to me. Seriously, she grew up in New York in an Asian community, and these things still happen today. These still go on. It is essentially an illegal lottery.
Right.
At this point in 1935, penny and nickel bets are placed on a 3-digit number. That number is usually something like the last 3 digits of the stock market for that day. So
Gotcha.
it's easily verifiable. It's not fixable, you would think. And that's where you go. But the house has the odds in their favor here, regardless of how much money the winner gets. The house is still going to make money on all of these things. So add in some prohibition bootlegging on the side, and by the late 20s, Greenlee has got a good business model, at least for making money. Morally,
Right.
less so.
He's a small businessman.
He is a successful small businessman. At its peak, something like 100 separate operations were collecting bets across the country at an estimated $25,000 a day moving through its hands. A day, $25,000 a day in 1935. That is a heck of a lot of money. During the Depression, and here's the thing, in a neighborhood that actual banks wouldn't touch, Greenlee basically became the bank to all of these residents. Loans, rent money, a soup line during the Depression. You mentioned it. He was named the Hill District Businessman of the Year.
Of course.
Later on, which is a hell of a line from a resume that starts with ran an illegal lottery.
Yes.
So in
I don't put that on my resume.
No.
I mean, I did it, but it's not on my resume.
It didn't work out very well. People weren't calling him back. So in 1930, he buys a semi-pro outfit called the Crawford Giants. He buys them outright. He builds his own park for them 2 years later called Greenlee Field, $100,000 out of his own pocket. And then he starts doing what rich guys with a ball club and no salary cap do. He buys the best players in the world. Sounds like the Dodgers.
Yeah.
Hey-o. So who did he buy, you ask? Well, Cool Papa Bell. We already mentioned him. You want speed? He's got it. An actual newspaper timed Cool Papa Bell circling the bases in 13.6 seconds. And that was on a wet field. They could have waited a day, you would think, and just do it on like a dry track. But Hall of Famer Charlie Gehringer, old mechanical man. He played against Cool Papa Bell in a barnstorming exhibition. He's not on this team. This is just a quote, a story about Charlie Gehringer. After he played against Cool Papa Bell, Gehringer told reporters that he'd seen Ty Cobb play, but he never saw Ty Cobb do anything on a ball field like what Cool Papa Bell did that night in St. Louis against his team, where the Crawfords beat the Cardinals 18-3.
Ooh.
Yeah. Blowout.
Rough day for the Cards.
Mm-hmm. Then we got Sam Bankhead, one of the Negro Leagues players that doesn't get a lot of attention, But he really probably should. One of 3 baseball playing brothers, the brothers Bankhead, not Scott Bankhead, by the way.
No.
But boy, this Sam Bankhead, he had an arm. I mean, he had 2 of them, but his right arm is the one that I'm talking about. There's a quote about Sam's arm from the outfield. It says, quote, "Nobody tagged from third on a fly ball against Bankhead. He'd throw you out from the warning track." End quote. So it's kind of like Dave Parker in that World Series in Seattle, or
yes, I was there.
Yeah, or Bo Jackson, or Ramon Laureano when he robbed the home run in center field and then threw back to first.
Yes.
That kind of arm is what we're talking about.
Yeah, that's impressive stuff.
Yeah. Sam played every position, including pitcher. That rifle of an arm, though, didn't translate particularly well on the mound. He struck out a lot of guys, sure, but he walked some. But it seemed like he was just around the plate. He gave up a lot of hits.
Yeah.
But never gave up a home run. 77 and 2/3 career innings, never gave up a home run. He was throwing too hard, I guess.
Yeah.
Patterson, we've talked about him just a minute ago. Quietly the best hitter on the team, maybe. He was slashing .376, .405, and .575. This team was so good, they were giving players away, literally. The Crawfords had a rookie shortstop named Ted Bond that people were calling the best first-year prospect in the entire league. Less than a month into the season, Greenlee gave him away to another team. He donated him, along with a pitcher, to the worst team in the league, the Newark Dodgers. Did they have trolleys in Newark? Because otherwise that nickname doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Maybe they did. I don't know. Regardless, Greenlee gave Bond as a gift because the Dodgers drew 4,000 fans against the Crawfords, and Greenlee needed them to survive so that next time they went, they could collect that kind of gate again. Purely self-serving, but still, he did it. Now, the Crawfords did, or at least were supposed to have, yet another Hall of Famer on this 1935 squad, the Hall of Famer. Greenlee had a good reason to feel good about the 1935 season. I'm not telling you who that Hall of Famer is just yet, but I will here for sure.
Okay.
All right.
We can imagine.
You can imagine, yeah. The Crawfords won the Negro National League. They had done so the previous 2 seasons. He's got 4 future Hall of Famers already locked in Bell, Charleston, Josh Gibson, and Judy Johnson. And he's expecting that 5th, Satchel Paige.
Wow.
Paige had been on the Crawfords the year before. He went 13-3 with a 1.61 ERA and 152 strikeouts. The best pitcher on the planet by most accounts. And he was going to be the anchor, the ace of this pitching staff. But that never happened. Instead, here's how you lose Satchel Paige for an entire season. What you do is you do something nice, because no good deed goes unpunished.
Right.
So Greenlee owned a bar in Pittsburgh, and at that bar, Satchel Paige met a waitress, a server, and they fell in love, and they got married, and Gus Greenlee threw him a wedding for free. So in October of 1934, Paige marries this waitress. The Crawford Grill is what it was called. Makes sense. Bill Bojangles Robinson is his best man, of course. I'm assuming he was a baseball player as well.
Yeah.
Greenlee foots the bill for the whole thing. His star pitcher, why not? He's printing money anyway. We've already gone over that. Now, Mark, you know how people make speeches at weddings?
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes they ask specific people not to make speeches at weddings.
Yeah.
Well, that didn't happen here. Greenlee takes this opportunity to make a speech of his own. He announces that Paige is signing a new 2-year deal. Now, Satchel, by his own account, was in on this the whole time. It's not like he sprung this on him at his wedding. He sits down and they signed the contract while the room is cheering for him at this wedding reception. So Paige and his new wife go on a honeymoon to California. He pitches some winter ball there. He records an 8-0 record. Comes back to Pittsburgh and discovers something that married men have known for quite a while, and since then for sure. Paychecks don't stretch the way they used to, now that you've got the old ball and chain ordering from Amazon every day. So Paige goes to Greenlee. He's like, yo, boss, remember that contract I signed at my wedding where you paid for the wedding? I appreciate that. And then you gave me a raise from last year. Well, I need more. Greenlee says, sorry, no can do. So Paige packs up his belongings, presumably his wife as well. I didn't say that, but I'm assuming. And they head to the bustling metropolis of Bismarck, North Dakota. The state capital, if I recall correctly, of North Dakota.
I believe so, yes.
So Greenlee is, if you can believe it, a bit mad. He calls the owner of this Bismarck team that has signed Satchel Paige since he's in North Dakota, which this team, by the way, has no nickname officially. It is just referred to as Bismarck.
Okay.
So Greenlee tells the owner that he is going to carve him to pieces if he ever gets within knife slashing distance.
That's a nice thing to say.
That's an official distance of measurement, by the way.
Knife slashing?
Knife slashing distance. It's like a quarter of a throwing dish at you from across the room distance. Something like that. I don't.
Yes, exactly. I think that's right, yeah.
Seems a bit extreme, the overreaction there. But the Bismarck Club is a very interesting club, first of all. So Paige was joined on this club by future Hall of Famer Hilton Smith. Also there is Ted Double Duty Radcliffe. Not a Hall of Famer, but a very noteworthy player, obviously. He won the 1935 National Baseball Conference Semi-Pro Baseball Tournament this year that they had him. They were considered a semi-pro team because the team was actually integrated.
Oh, okay.
Paige recalled that they won 104 out of 105 games with him starting every single game. Now, if you look at the baseball reference page for this club, it lists their record as 2-2. So I'm going to guess that their actual record is somewhere in the middle, and Paige probably started most of, but not all of the games.
Right.
Greenlee couldn't be bothered to drive all the way to Bismarck to get within knife slashing distance. So Greenlee tries to sell Paige's contract to somebody else. Since as far as he's concerned, Paige is still Crawford's property. He signed that contract. That didn't work out. So Greenlee officially bans Paige from the league and reassigns him to the House of David.
Oh, really?
Can you just see the House of David like, wait, you're doing what? I mean, they're probably happy about it, but, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Greenlee is undeterred by all of this, though, and actually keeps advertising games as if Satchel was still with the Crawfords. In June, a Pennsylvania paper previews a Crawfords game against the local semi-pro team and lists Satchel Paige as the starter, which obviously is going to help the gate. Everybody's going to make money off that, and the fans are going to be pissed. So Satchel Paige is playing in the baseball-crazy state of North Dakota. The Crawfords, though, just keep winning ball games without him. Leroy Matlock is the ace in Paige's absence. He won his last 4 decisions in 1934, and then somewhere between 15 to 18 straight in 1935. Nobody agrees on the exact number, which, if you've heard us talk about the Negro Leagues before, should not surprise you. They were often lucky just to have enough money to pay umpires, let alone official scorers or statisticians. A couple of noteworthy games from the season for the Crawfords. August 5th, they're in Chester, Pennsylvania. And this was called a revenge game against a white semi-pro team because they had beaten them earlier in the year. Josh Gibson hits 2 long home runs. Oscar Charleston, the local paper, took a dig at him and called him the long past his prime Oscar Charleston. And jokingly said that he weighed 355 pounds.
Right.
Okay. So this 355-pound man steals third and then steals home straight.
Sounds like he was proving a point.
Yeah, an old 350-pound man with a straight steal of home. You got it right. He was proving a point. August 24th in Chicago versus the Chicago American Giants. This game went 19 innings. 19 innings marked that they played in 3.5 hours.
Wow, that's awesome.
3.5 hours. That's like 6 innings of a Yankee Red Sox game in 2012. My gosh. The Crawfords trailed 7-4 heading into the 9th. They tie it, and it takes until the 19th inning for Pittsburgh to finally win it 11-8. Cool Papa Bell gets 6 hits in that game, but no stolen bases. Josh Gibson had one, though. Willie Foster got the loss for Chicago after going 14 innings. Just
wow,
ran out of gas.
I would think so.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the Cubans are having a rough first half. Again, this is a first-year organization here. But then they catch fire in the second with help from newly acquired Rap Dixon. They end up winning the second half National League title. They end up winning the second half Negro National League title and set up the championship series. The Cubans pitching staff, it's helmed by a 19-year-old kid named Johnny Taylor. Also in the staff, Louis Tiant, the first one, who's also the father of the second one. Works funny how that works out. Yeah. Also, a guy named Neck Stanley.
Okay.
Now, Mark, I found a picture of Neck Stanley. Perfectly normal neck length.
Well, interesting.
A good neck. Like Walt Williams is jealous of this. Walt Williams, of course, being nicknamed Node Neck as well as Head and Shoulders.
Yes. Very
jealous of Neck Stanley's neck. It's just an average neck. Nothing to write home about, nothing to be ashamed of. So, to the championship series we go. The Crawfords versus the Cubans, best of 7 games. Here's how we actually got to that 9th inning of Game 6 that we started out with. Game 1, Rap Dixon has 2 hits. He leads the Cubans to the win. They're up 1-0. Game 2, Neck Stanley shuts down the Crawfords. 4-hitter. That perfectly average neck got it done. So the Cubans are up 2-0. Just a note on this game, it started 35 minutes late because 3 of the 4 umpires didn't know where they were supposed to be. They went to a different park. Now, to be fair, this game was played at a neutral site versus the first game that was at the Cubans park. So I'm assuming they probably showed up at the Cubans park.
Yeah, they didn't have ways either.
No, yeah, and they weren't paying attention to their texts, so it was hard to get a hold of them. They'd run out of minutes because minutes was still a thing for mobile phones at that point.
That's right.
All right, so Game 3, the Crawfords get on the board. Leroy Matlock started for the Crawfords. Matlock had not lost a start all season. He was 8-0 with a 1.52 ERA. Oscar Charleston hits his first homer of the series. Cool Papa Bell triples, scores on a bad relay throw. The Crawfords win, still down 2-1. Game 4, Martin Dihigo pencils himself as a starter, gives up 1 run, and the Cubans get the win and are now only 1 win away from taking the trophy, the belt, the turducken. I don't know what exactly they were playing for. I'm guessing a paycheck is probably the most accurate thing I could say there. Game 5. Crawfords lead 2-0 into the 9th. The Cubans send up a pinch hitter named Cocaina Garcia. Now, not like, what we think of as Cocaina. Guessing not. I don't know. Maybe this was the 30s. Who knows? He might have liked Coca-Cola a lot. I don't know.
That's all he needed.
Cocaina Garcia ties the game with a 2-run shot. So we head to the bottom of the 9th. Roosevelt Davis singles. Bell pinch runs for him. Imagine, Mark, a championship game where you're an elimination game and Cool Papa Bell is not in the starting lineup. Crazy.
Yes.
But he's available on the bench to pinch run. He does that. Bell moves to second on a ground out. Chester Williams squares to bunt, taps it back to the pitcher, and Bell just takes off for third. The throw to third by Dihigo is wide, and Cool Papa Bell just keeps running. Scores, game over. We'll see you tomorrow evening, folks. It's 3-2. So that gets us back to where we started, Game 6. Which you already know the ending of, sort of. I didn't give it to you, but I think you can guess. Down 6-3 in the 9th, Dihigo on the mound to close it out. Charleston's 3-run homer. Judy Johnson 0 for 10 stepping in. Johnson fouls off 3 straight pitches, then chops one down the first baseline. Cubans first baseman Dave Showboat Thomas gets a glove on it, but can't make the play. Now, this is not the owner of Wendy's, Dave Thomas.
Oh, right. No, he wasn't Showboat.
No, this is Dave Showboat Thomas. And with a nickname like Showboat, I hope it was a legit, bad hop. Not like
right.
He was showboating. And if he would have got it, would the pitcher, have been covering in time for the out? I'm asking for Bill Buckner.
Yes.
Patterson scores from second base. Crawfords win it 7-6. Series is now tied at 3. We're going to Game 7. Game 7, this one's for all the marbles, Mark. Maybe that's what they were playing for. Again, don't know.
I was thinking that.
Marbles. But it's under the lights in Philadelphia. Both teams trade the lead all night. Crawfords up 2-0. Cubans 3-2. Crawfords 4-3. Cubans tie it. Crawfords go back up 6-4. It's back and forth. Homers by Gibson and Charleston. Then Sam Bankhead, the guy who we've determined definitely has two arms, one of which may have been an actual cannon, scores an insurance run on an error. It's 8-4 Cardinals. But the Cubans will not go silently into the night. Independence Day quote.
Yes.
They claw back to an 8-7 score on a 2-run homer by Clyde Right Turn Spearman with 2 outs in the 9th.
Right Turn Clyde. I like that.
I didn't think Clyde had a nickname, but for my every which way but loose fans out there,
Absolutely.
I wanted to be inclusive.
Hey, I got it immediately.
But a routine grounder to pitcher Roosevelt Davis, and it's over. The Crawfords take the series 4-3. So, champions, Crawfords, right? They're going to take a trip to Disneyland, party all night, maybe a parade. Nope. One day off, and the Cardinals are scheduled to play in a 4-team doubleheader at Yankee Stadium.
Oh, jeez.
Crawfords against the Philadelphia Stars. The Cubans are going to be there. They are going against the Nashville. I don't remember. Did Bob tell us it was I-Light or E-Light? I like E-Light better. The
E-Light.
The E-Light Giants.
Yes.
And Greenlee's been promoting this game hard because it's not just any exhibition. It's a rematch from a game the year prior in 1934 where Paige and Philadelphia left-hander Slim Jones threw what people still call the greatest game in Negro League history. Extra innings, 1-0. Greenlee wants to recreate that. And he pays Paige $350 to show up for this one game. The thing is, Mark, Satchel Paige is in Chicago, where he pitched 5 shutout innings for the Kansas City Monarchs instead. Slim Jones was there. He showed up in New York, but he gets knocked out after 1 inning. So regardless of who was there or not, the game drew a huge crowd. Figures anywhere between 15 and 27,000, which was more than the major leagues had drawn the week prior.
Very nice.
So the 1935 Crawfords were truly a talented team. In the opinion of some of its own players, though, it might have been the weakest Crawfords roster in 4 years, but it still won a championship without its biggest name ever, even putting on a uniform. Satchel Paige would return to the Crawfords the next season and did Satchel Paige stuff. The Crawfords would once again win the Negro National League pennant, but most of the players left to go barnstorming before there could actually be another championship series, so it just wasn't scheduled. And that would be the last season of the Crawfords dynasty, as they didn't win the league again in the club's existence. Now, I mentioned that Satchel Paige was sent to the House of David by Greenlee after he didn't actually play for the HOD, as we say in the biz, but the Crawfords did square off against the Bearded Brothers twice that season. They beat them both times by a combined score of 26-8. Paige could have no doubt helped the House of David there.
Yes.
There you go. That is the 1935, which I always thought was considered the best Negro League team ever. But I have determined they are not. They are barely close.
That was awesome, man. That's good stuff.
Same franchise, just no. They were better the year before and maybe before that. With all those Hall of Famers, that would have been.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. All right. Producer Mitch is holding up his wrist and slowly tapping at it while staring at us without blinking. It is very unsettling. It's
weird because he doesn't have a watch on.
Well, nor does he know how to tell time. So exactly. I don't know what he's doing, but I can infer from how long we've been talking that it's time to head into the final segment of the show. It is time for Wax Pack Hero.
Wax Pack Hero! Gotta pull a Wax Pack Hero! Don't stop singing Wax Pack Hero! On the podcast tonight!
Hello again, friends. It's time for another installment of Wax Pack's Heroes. Before we can start, though, let's go over the rules. Mark and Jeff are going to play an old-fashioned game of war. Except this is more like baseball reference war. They'll each get one card and will score the baseball reference war of the year of the card. But wait, they can add or subtract points depending on certain aspects of the card and the player's season. Any 80s baseball aesthetics the card displays will earn an extra 1/10 of a point. Or if they don't like something, like 2-in-1 stirrups, they can subtract a 1/10 of a point as well. Also, if the player won any awards that season, they get a 1/2 a point for each. If the player led the league in any categories, they'll get a 1/10 of a point for each positive category, but minus 1/2 a point for each negative one. If there's a Hall of Famer anywhere on the card, that's a whole extra point. If the player had a Costacos Brothers poster made of them, they get a 1/2 a point for that. If Ricky Henderson or Nolan Ryan get pulled, the round is over. Jeff automatically wins if either pulls a Ricky card, and Mark wins if Nolan is pulled. If the player has any pop culture references, they get a 1/2 a point, unless they appeared on Seinfeld, The Simpsons, or Sabrina the Teenage Witch. That, friends, is a whole point for each. If the player was suspended for off-the-field mischief during their career or are on the 2SN, don't talk about list, that's a minus a 1/2 and a whole point respectively. So with that out of the way, it's time to play Wax Pack Heroes.
Mark, today we're gonna do some newer cards. We got some 2010s here. Looking at the scoreboard right now, I am on a bit of a hot streak here. Knock on wood. I am up 16-11. So I've got a larger lead than games I need to win. So we're playing to 20. You've just heard the rules, so you should be up on that. Yeah. All right, Mark, you've elected to go first here. Mark, your first card is pitcher for the Angels, Matt Palmer. I am not familiar with Matt Palmer.
He's a film director.
Isn't that De Palma? Brian De Palma?
That's Brian De Palma.
Yeah. How about my directorial knowledge, though?
Very nice.
Let's see. Matt Palmer overall played for 5 years in the big leagues, 3 with the Angels, and then parts of seasons with the Padres and the Giants. In 2010, with the Angels, he had a minus .1 WAR with a 1-2 record, 4.54 ERA, 33 2/3 innings, 38 hits allowed, and an 88 ERA plus. Minus .1, not great, but
it's better than a lot of them that I've had lately.
What do you think about pop culture? You think there's going to be a lot of it?
Oh, I'm sure there's tons. In fact, I'm already looking, and man.
He's got a suspiciously long Wikipedia page for his length in the big leagues. But you know what? Maybe this is what keeps him busy. I don't know. I don't see anything, shockingly enough, pop culture related, though. On the card, Mark, he does have facial hair.
Oh, good. Something.
That will get you to a score of 0.
Yes.
So we'll see how that works out. All right. My card is with the Pirates, Delwyn Young. Now it's Delwyn, not Delman. This is Delwyn, DELWYN.
Okay.
This is a cool card. It looks like he's probably a shortstop, although he's listed as outfield on this card. But Mark DeRosa is sliding into second base, trying to break up a double play. He's already gotten rid of the ball, and he's in midair, jumping over D-Row. It's a good card.
That's cool.
Now, here's the thing, Mark. He's got his pants pulled up, but there is no stirrups being shown here, so I'm not going to get any points for that. He does have sunglasses on, so I will get that, but got to be able to see the sanitaries. That's the whole point of the thing. Delwyn Young played in the big leagues for 5 years, 3 with the Dodgers, 2 with the Bucks. In 2010, he hit .236, .286 on base, .414 slug, 88 OPS plus, the same as your ERA plus. He had 7 home runs, 28 RBI, but a minus .3 WAR.
Oh, good. I mean, rough year.
Yeah, minus .3 is not great. Not a lot of Not a lot of exciting stuff going on there in his transactions. And I'm going to guess the same will be said about his pop culture life.
I would guess so.
Let's see. Hit the first major league home run off of Manny Corpus. Isn't that how you say like a male body in Latin?
That's right.
Yeah. You can catch our baseball history in Latin.
Yes.
This is the only words I know how to speak in Latin.
E pluribus unum caveat emptor.
I'll take your word for it. I don't do a lot of talking in that one. So maybe that's why it's so popular. Let's see. Anything else here that is exciting? Played in a lot of independent ball and in Mexico as well. Father was drafted by the Reds in 1981. Doesn't say a whole lot about much success there, though. Not much going on there. Mark, you have won that round easily.
Let's see if I can win 3 of them with a score of 0.
Now, we should mention last week, Mark, you and I asked listeners who they root for in Wax Pax Heroes, if they root for anybody. And you shared with me one listener that said that they root for you because I seem too thirsty for the wins.
I love that.
I want to win. I don't do anything halfway. I'm telling you, I don't. If I'm playing, I play to win. All right, you're up 1-0. Mark, your next card is, wow, these cards are awful. They've like gold stamped the names in, and it's with a black like border, and it's just impossible to read. You have pitcher for the Nationals, Chen Meng Wong. Let's see, Yankees is what I certainly think of when I think of Chen Meng Wong. Nothing on this card is going to help you out, unfortunately. Let's see. Overall, 9 years in the big leagues. The Yankees for 5, the Nats for 2, and then Kansas City and Toronto for 1 apiece. The bad news for you, or maybe it's good news, we don't know yet, is that he took 2010 off.
Okay, see? I got a 0.
I'm going to assume he was probably hurt. He did not play anywhere that year. Probably had Tommy John. I'm not sure. But
yeah, because he played from 05 to 2016. And that was the only year he had off, I think.
Well, 2014 and 2015 as well.
Oh, he went, okay.
Well, true. He might have gone elsewhere. Where else was he in those years? No, just in the minors. So, yeah, not going to help you out there. Never traded, just signed release, sign release, sign release. So
lots of potential.
Nothing, and nothing. Pop culture-wise, these newer cards don't seem to have as much pop culture relevance.
No, they don't.
Wow. This is a very, very long page. Coached the Fubon Guardians in the Chinese Professional Baseball League in 2018. And then with the CTBC Brothers. They were my team. I guess they still are my squad there.
I love that he has 2 sons, JJ and Wellington. I love those names.
Very traditionally Asian names, JJ and Wellington.
Absolutely.
Well, he was recovering from a shoulder injury in 29, admitted to having an extramarital affair. He was too bored rehabbing. Jeez. Ooh. Yikes. The paragraph after that is not great. I think this counts, though, as pop culture. There's a documentary about Wong. Late Life, the Chen Meng Wong story, debuted in theaters even.
Oh, wow.
In 2018. So, yeah, there you go.
Sweet.
That's pop culture, baby.
Do I get the affair points?
Yes, that's a minus half a point.
Dang it.
All right. So that's a half a point of war for you going up against my card. Oh, I like that I've got this card. I've got pitcher for the Blue Jays. I've got the Sheriff, Roy Halladay. All right. So
yeah, I think you got my number here.
Nothing on this card is going to help me out. I mean, except for the fact that he's a Hall of Famer.
Yes.
2-time Cy Young Award winner, 8-time All-Star, 16 years in the big leagues, 12 with Toronto, 4 with the Phillies. In 2010, good news for me, he was an All-Star, won the Cy Young that year. Led the league in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 categories.
You realize this is going to be overkill.
Yeah, we don't even need to add this up. He went 21-10 with a 2.44 ERA. Led the league in complete games with 9 and shutouts with 4. Pitched in 250 and 2/3 innings. Only gave up 231 hits. He struck out 219. That's 219. And had an ERA plus of 167 for a WAR of 8.5.
Wow. Yeah, that was not close.
No. We might have broken the counter here. 8.5. That's all I'm going to put in there. Let's see. I mean, obviously a Hall of Famer, obviously, unfortunately passed away, threw a no-hitter in the playoffs.
Yep.
Literally just one of the best pitchers of the 2000s.
You get any points for being on the cover of Major League Baseball 2K11?
I think we should. I mean, I've given points for having video games before.
Yeah.
I think we could do it, but not needed, honestly. We don't even need to continue. That is a obvious, easy win for me. And we are tied up at 1 apiece. All right, Mark, your next card is catcher for the Minnesota Twins, Drew Butera. Sporting a soul patch and a chin. What are those called?
Something. I don't know what that is.
Just like a little brush on the end of his chin. But that's all that you're going to get there from the card itself. All right, let's see. Drew Butera, 12 years in the big leagues. He played for a lot of teams. Kansas City, Minnesota for 4 years, Colorado for 3 years, and then the Dodgers and the Angels for 2 apiece. 2010 Mark was his rookie year. He hit 197, 237 on base, and a 296 slug for a 46 OPS plus. He had 2 home runs and 13 ribs. That's still good for a positive 2 WAR.
Wow.
Plus, well, he's a catcher, maybe.
Mr. Defense?
Yeah, he's a good defensive catcher, maybe. He's got that facial hair. I don't know if that's added in there. Traded by the Mets to the Twins for Luis Castillo, former Mariner Luis Castillo. No longer a Mariner.
You sure that was a different Luis Castillo, I think?
Is it? Well, his name's Luis Castillo. That's all it's this guy. How could I mess this? This guy's the guy we used to mess with in Atlanta behind home plate. The second baseman for the Marlins. That's my guy.
Yes.
Find me. Go ahead. Try it. Let's see. Drew Butera, pop culture-wise, I'm guessing there's not a whole lot here. Played for Team Italy in the 2013 World Baseball Classic. His father, also Sal Butera. Yeah, not going to have anything else there for you, unfortunately. So that is a positive 0.3, not too bad for Drew Butera.
Something interesting about him that I found here. Okay. Became the 5th catcher to catch a no-hitter in both the American League and National League. So I thought that was cool.
The other 4 are?
I have no idea.
Well, see, now you've left it wide open for listeners to
that's right
find
something for them to do. Yeah.
If you want some busy work, go ahead and do that. I'm guessing Ray Fosse's got to be one of them. Well, now he was in Cleveland and then Oakland. I don't know. You know what, Mark? You need to figure that out for next week. I'm gonna leave that up to you. All right, Mark.
Somebody email me the answer, please. I don't feel like looking.
Mark, you are going up against, for me, infielder for the Chicago White Sox, Alexi Ramirez. Alexi's got some sunglasses and some facial hair here. This must have been on Mother's Day weekend because he's got pink sweatbands on.
I see.
The Cuban Missile.
That's a great name. The Cuban Missile.
Especially when he would have a crisis, they would.
Yes.
Really.
They were having trouble re-signing him. It was called the Cuban Missile Crisis. That's right.
Let's see. Overall, Alexi, 9 years in the big leagues, 8 with the White Sox, and then the Padres and the Rays in 2016. 2010 for the White Sox. Wow, a great year. He hit .282, .313 on base, .431 slug. He was a Silver Slugger this year. 18 home runs, 70 ribs, 13 stolen bases for a 5.6 WAR.
Very nice. Not for me, though.
I might get an all-time high for 3 cards in WAR here. Let's see here. On the 2015 World Series team, it's got a ring to his name. His Wikipedia page is, for some reason, green and gold, which I like, but I'm not sure why. I don't know. I do not know why the color is like that for his pages.
That's interesting.
Looks like he's still playing in Cuba. He played in the 2024. He played in Cuba.
Wow.
So, I mean, yeah. Play as long. Make them wheel you off the diamond in a body bag, even. All right, Mark, I have won that round quite convincingly. Yes. Again, I am up 2-1, and your card is with the St. Louis Cardinals, former Mariner, Brendan Ryan. So you're going to get some points here. He has got eye black on. I cannot see stirrups. I see he's got his pants pulled up. But, Mark, he has got a sweatband with his number on it.
Nice.
So you are going to get the eye black, and you are going to get the, we're just going to call it, what? I guess I'll put it under Mims bands, sweatbands, same thing. All right, so that's good news for you. Didn't Brendan Ryan, didn't he do impersonations or something? And he did some impersonation that everybody loved. I don't remember.
I don't recall.
I think it might have been a Mariner specific thing, but drafted by the Cardinals from Lewis and Clark State College, Lewiston, Idaho. I think we've talked about that before. 10 years in the big league, St. Louis for 4, Mariners and Yankees for 3, and the Angels for 1. In 2010, for the Cardinals, he hit .223, .279 on base, .294 slug. Those are some low numbers, I'm not going to lie.
He was Mr. Defense.
57 OPS plus, but a WAR of 2.1.
He was awesome defensively. Just a wonder.
Let's see. What else did Mr. Ryan do?
If I may quote Omar Vizquel.
You may.
He's pretty flashy for a white guy.
Okay. Let's see. The Yankees traded him to the Cubs for Adam Warren and Starlin Castro. Okay. Brendan Ryan, pop culture-wise, broke up CC Sabathia's perfect game with 1 out in the 7th as a Mariner.
Nice. Of all people, you know?
Yeah.
Also was the final out in Philip Humber's perfect game. So he was around a couple perfect games.
Against the A's in 2011, he had the unusual result of reaching third base on an infield hit. Ground ball fielded by a shortstop, Eric Sogard. Throws off balance to first, was late. It went behind Connor Jackson, the A's first baseman. Ryan ran for second, which was left uncovered by Sogard, and immediately for third, which was also uncovered. This sounds like an A's team from 2011.
Yes.
Let's see here. And it just says Ryan is married and has 2 kids. No names.
I don't think his wife has a name. It's a weird thing.
Well, it says, Ryan is the youngest of 4 children. No names there. His father was Jim, though.
Well, yeah, Jim's the one with the name.
Yeah, but nothing there that's going to help you out. So Brendan Ryan will get you a 2.3 score, and you will be going up against Logan Ondrasek.
Wow.
Kind of sounds like Anders from Workaholics.
Yes,
Logan Ondrasek.
I love that show.
He's his cousin. He's not a swimmer. He's a baseball player, though. There is nothing on this card that is going to help me out. It's spring training. I'm not even sure if Logan was in the big leagues this year. Hey, he was. Look at that. What do you know? Overall, 6 years in the big leagues, actually, for Logan. 5 years with the Reds, 1 for Baltimore. 2010 was his rookie year. He appeared in 60 games out of the bullpen with a perfect 5-0 record. 58 and 2/3 innings pitched, 49 hits, struck out 39, 111 ERA plus, and a .4 WAR. I don't think it's going to get much higher for me than .4 WAR.
.4 might be where you end up at.
Logan here. Let's see. Interesting things about Logan, besides his last name. Also played in Japan for Tokyo before coming back and rejoining Major League Baseball. And then spent some time in Mexico and the Independent League, also the Chinese Professional League. I mean, he's been all over the place. But nothing pop culture-wise. Nada. So that'll be a .4, which is not enough to beat the 2.3. And Mark, we're going to sudden death. We are 2 apiece. Very tense. Your card is, this might be good for you with the Royals, Alex Gordon.
Oh, yeah.
On this card, he does have sunglasses on. All right, Alex Gordon, 14 years in the big leagues. Every single one of those years was with the Kansas City Royals. Won a World Series in 2015. 8 gold gloves, 2 platinum gloves. I think he was a pretty good fielder. But something went haywire this year. Wow. Easily the worst year in the big leagues, 2010 for Alex Gordon. He hit .215. On base was .315. Slug was .355 for an 84 OPS plus. 8 home runs, 20 RBI, 1 stolen base, 5 caught stealing, and a minus .5 WAR.
Okay, that hurts.
That is, he never had a minus WAR. Well, he had a minus .1 in 2017, but that's it. Everything else, a career 34.9 WAR.
And I got the minus .5. That's nice.
He was drafted in the first round. He was the 2nd pick overall in 2015. Gordon's 2006 baseball card gained notoriety after he was drafted. Topps issued his rookie card prematurely, as only players on the 25-man roster or who had played at least one major league game were eligible. As a result, they had to stop producing the card, cut holes in some of the existing card. Examples, though, found their way into retail stores and have garnered bids in the thousands on eBay. Now, that's just what Wikipedia says. I have no way of knowing if that is true or not, but good story. Yeah, nothing else. I'm a little bit I guarantee you he did like local spots, but nothing that we can see here in terms of pop culture. So, Mark, you will end up with a minus .4 score. Yikes.
Awesome.
Yeah, let's see. I've lost in this situation many times before. My card is, Bay Area Black Ace with the Tigers here, Dontrell Willis. But he was not great when he was not with the Fish, and he's not with the Fish here.
Yeah, it could be anything here.
He is with Detroit here. There is nothing on this card that is going to help me out either. Overall, 9 years in the big leagues, Florida for 5, Detroit for 3, Cincinnati and Arizona for a season apiece. 2010, he split time between Detroit and Arizona. Overall, he went 2-3 with a 5.62 ERA. He pitched in 65 and 2/3 innings, 72 hits, 41 earned runs, 47 strikeouts for an ERA plus of 76 and a WAR of minus .2. So, Dontrell. I can't remember him being in any trouble, so I think I might be safe, but I'm not sure. Let's see, 2002, he was traded by the Cubs with Julian Tavares to the Marlins for Antonio Alfonseca and Matt Clement. Then the Marlins traded him a couple of years later with Miguel Cabrera to Detroit for nobody. I mean, Cameron Maybin and Andrew Miller. That's essentially what it was.
Yeah, okay.
Very lopsided trade there. Let's see, traded by the Tigers to the D-backs for Billy Buckner. Not Bill Buckner.
Right.
Billy Buckner. Looks like that's about it for that. Willis's favorite player was former Athletics pitcher Dave Stewart. Nice.
That's a good favorite player.
Yep. Raised in Alameda County, or not Alameda, raised in Alameda, California, right there where Willie Stargell's from. His mom was an elite level softball player. Never knew his father, though. His father, though, was a minor league player in the 70s, but never knew him. Went to Arizona State, obviously a powerhouse baseball program there. Willis, I know, does TV now. He's been on some of those Sunday night games as well. Rookie of the Year. Let's see. DUI.
Uh-oh.
Pleaded guilty to reckless driving and did community service and had 6 months probation. Do we minus for that, or do we just like kind of grit our teeth?
I think we just sort of go, well, that's not a good thing.
We go,
Yeah.
Hit a grand slam off of Robert Person in 2002. Or no,
I remember that for some reason.
No, he hit it off of Jose Lima. It was and that was in 2006. He was the first pitcher to hit a grand slam since Robert Person in 2002.
Yeah, I remember him hitting the grand slam.
And then he, in 2006, same year, he hit 2 home runs in one game.
Wow.
Did he win a Silver Slugger at any point? Or was no, he did not. Well, hold on. Let's go to batting. No, he did not win a Silver Slugger. He had 3 home runs that year. He had 2 the next year.
Wow.
Like, who? It might have been Hampton. Might have been winning them still at that point. Well, let's see here. Overall, that is a minus 0.2 for me. That's what I said, right? Yeah, minus 0.2. So with a minus 0.2 score, I have won the round and I have won the game.
We can't pick up anything.
No. You realize I could put this baby to bed before the regular season's over in Major League Baseball, and we don't have baseball again for another 2 years.
Yeah, I know. I'm a little worried about that.
Yeah. But I'm happy with that. I'll take it. I'll accept it. I've accepted the results, and I urge you to as well.
Okay, I accept.
All right, there we go. 17-11, Mark. I am up.
I got to have a real big streak here.
Yeah, you really do need it. All right.
All these people rooting for me, man.
I know you do. You've got the people on, which I don't understand. All you win every time. Root for the underdog. I play to win. I can't go. I was last week in my baseball league. We were up big, and I hit a line drive in the gap, and I took second base. Unabashedly, I was trying to get my slugging percentage up, but I probably should have just held on with a single, but I kept going and got a double. So there you go. All right.
Who can blame you?
Yeah. Well, the other team, but they didn't. I knew them. They were fine with it. All right. That'll do it for Wax Packs Heroes. Mark, that's also going to do it for the show. If you want more of us, you can do so by checking out our socials. They are all there in the show notes. Or you can just look up Two Strike Noise. That's TWO Strike Noise. You can find us there. Also, just a reminder, I stream on YouTube Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for an hour and a half each morning at 9 o'clock West Coast time. We do baseball dailies. We play the grid. We recap what's gone on in the baseball world. And we talk a lot about pop culture. It's just the way it goes. It's a lot of fun. Well, at least for me. Come on and join us if you want. Or you can always watch the VOD later at your leisure. Mark, what about an email address? Do we have one of those?
Yeah, hold on. I got to look it up. Here it is. Two Strike Noise. Spell it out. TWO Strike Noise @gmail.com.
You should really put that on a Post-it note. Just right on your desk.
I keep forgetting.
So you can remember.
It's kind of hard to remember.
Very hard to remember. All right. That'll do it for this episode. Thank you very much for hanging out with us. We will hopefully see you again on the next episode of Two Strike Noise.
Thank you. God bless you. Have a great day.